Yes, hello guys. Good. It's nighttime right now on the West Coast, but good evening. Welcome to the Witness Without Identity channel. Today we're gonna keep talking about Naomi Campbell and her relation with the Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. I'm very fascinated by that story because I would like to know who are involved, and eventually we're gonna talk about Eric. What's his name? Eric Weinstein. Weinstein, yeah, I think Weinstein is a guy that's like also involved in the sex trafficking, not sex trafficking, but raping women, and they have the same last name. And Eric Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein know each other, which is kind of weird, you know. So the Hollywood and elite world is a very small world, and we have to recognize that. So, in this video, I'm going to talk about uh, Naomi Campbell had an interview with Naomi Campbell had an interview with Paris Hilton, and in the interview, you know, Naomi Campbell talking about how long she know Paris, when did she met Paris. That's kind of interesting. There's many things that look suspicious to me, but you guys let me know.
It's like, it was just like, I mean, I've known you for like 25 years.
Yes.
And where was the first time that we met? I remember very clearly. Do you?
I do. The first time we met was in Saint-Tropez. It was your birthday at Nikki Beach.
What were you doing?
I was dancing.
How were you dancing? This was the issue. This was the scene, everyone. The scene was, everyone comes tells me, there's this girl trying to take over your party. She's like, on the table. So I'm like, on the table? No, let me see. So I go over there, and I see Paris on the table. And I just looked and I said, I love her. That was it.
Yeah.
Loved everything.
I invented dancing on tables.
Oh my God. We have
That was such an epic night. All of your birthdays are always so epic, but that was my first birthday with you. And
you came with Nelly Hooper.
yes.
Yeah, producer,
I love
music
Nelly.
producer. And so after that, we've traveled. We've been in Cuba together. We took you to Jamaica, meet my stepfather. We were in Hong Kong. I mean, we've been all over the place. Ibiza.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
every place, just such a different experience. But what I realize is that people don't know the real Paris Hilton, and I feel that I do.
Yes.
And when most people feel that Paris is drinking another glass of champagne, let me tell you, it's not champagne, it's ginger ale.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like you to explain your persona of Paris Hilton, the character that you had to become. How did it come about?
Well, I think it definitely all came about with The Simple Life. Just creating this character because it was, you know, one of the first reality shows, and the producers told me, we want you to play up this character of this kind of spoiled airhead, just kind of just being something. And I, you know, it was my first show. I'd never been on TV before. I had no idea what to expect. And so I had to continue doing that character for 5 seasons because I didn't know that the show would go on for so long. So I think that people assume that's who I really am in real life when I'm actually quite the opposite. As you know.
Very smart woman you are. A very smart woman. I mean, entrepreneur is not the word. You sold, how many fragrances do you have? I read you had 25.
I just released my 25th fragrance, Electrify.
And so you have fragrances, you have handbags.
Yes.
I know that in the Philippines, I believe you have a hotel.
I have 2 hotels in the Philippines. I have 19 different product lines, so I make everything from perfume, handbags, sunglasses, makeup, jewelry, lingerie, clothes, shoes.
And that the Paris Hilton brand brought in, I believe, I mean, I don't actually say this, but it's. I want young kids to know that you too can be a billionaire like Paris Hilton. It's like your products came into a cumulative amount of $2 billion. I don't know, I'm not sure what year that was in. I believe that was in Oh, yes,
My
2014.
Yes. So I feel very proud. I've worked so hard, and I think I really I learned that from my family. I'm very blessed that my family
Strong work
never
ethic.
failed us. They always teaching me strong work ethic, which I think is so important. Especially when you're from a privileged family, it's so easy to spoil your children. And my parents never did that with my sister and I and my brothers, and always wanted us to work hard and make something of ourselves. So I'm very lucky that I was raised that way.
So let's skip forward to, tell us about the wild child rumors of Paris Hilton. Because Paris Hilton, before I met you, I heard about this wild child that lived between Los Angeles and New York, and lived in the Waldorf and would sneak out of the Waldorf. Can you tell us some of those stories? And then there's also a famous story of you going off to see David LaChapelle, and a shoot followed with that too. So could you give us that whole scenario?
Well, basically, I lived in LA my whole life. I was born in New York. Then we moved to LA when I was about 3. And I lived there till I was 15. And my parents were so strict. Like, literally, I was not allowed to wear makeup. I couldn't go on a date. I couldn't go to a school dance. I wasn't allowed to do anything. So I was very sheltered. And then we moved to New York, and it was just this whole different world. And all these designers were sending me clothes. I was invited to all these parties and club openings. And my mom, of course, didn't want me to go. But I was like, what other 16-year-old is going to say no to this when they can get into everywhere? So I would sneak out at night, and I lived at the Waldorf Astoria. And what I would do is I would take a Barbie doll and put the hair out of the bed and put pillows and look like I was sleeping. And I would sneak out through all these places. I found out where there was no cameras, which were like in certain parts. And I would literally walk down like 30 flights of stairs, go to like a secret elevator, and go out at night. And then my mom caught me one night. She went and she pulled up and saw that it was a Barbie doll. And she went and called Noah Tepperberg and basically every club owner was like, my daughter is in there right now. She's supposed to be at school tomorrow. So I got in a lot of trouble.
Did she find you?
Well, I ended up coming home, obviously, after the club, and she was just so mad. And then the time with David LaChapelle was a different time, where...
you went to a whole other state.
I went to LA, and he said, we're going to do this photo shoot. And then he also had Nikki.
Knew you were flying to LA or not? No.
They just thought I was going to see my grandparents. They didn't realize it was a David LaChapelle photo shoot. And they also flew out Nikki.
That was.
Yes.
What a shoot.
We did not know it was for Vanity Fair. These were just photos we were doing for fun. And then he showed them to Vanity Fair, and they loved them and wanted to use them. And my mom found out and literally called David freaking out, saying, you cannot use these photos. What do I have to do? And
well, I heard that Kathy tried to call Graydon and tried to buy the pictures back.
She did.
I heard she was told, no, they are too good and they're getting printed.
I'm actually glad that Graydon said no to her, because I feel like those photos really just started my whole career. I really owe so much to David LaChapelle for that. I think he's so just iconic. He's so talented.
I love David.
His photos of you are just, they're so just gorgeous. He's just such an artist.
My God, Paris, your life. We're just touching the tip. It's so colorful. It's just so many different facets to you. And today is April 17th, 2020. And today would have been your premiere of This Is Paris, the documentary of your life, shown tonight in New York in Tribeca Film Festival. It's kind of ironic that we're both speaking on this day.
No, I was so excited for that. That was actually my second film that was going to be at Tribeca Film Festival, and now obviously it has to be postponed.
Yeah, but tell us about it, because I just heard whoever's seen it, everyone's saying it's amazing. Can you give us a little bit of insight on your docu?
Well, it's it's like nothing I've ever done in my life. I really discuss things that I've never talked about with anyone, not even my closest friends. But I felt so comfortable with the director. Her name is Alexandra Dean, and she's this amazing female director. And we ended up having this sisterly bond where I felt like I could tell her anything. So it ended up being like a very just like emotional and almost like
Did she
therapeutical.
was she around you for how long? Was it 2 years?
We were shooting for a year.
A year.
And I talk about a lot of things that I've never discussed, such as one night I was taken from my room and put into this school, which they ended up closing them down, but now they're reopened. And it's something I never discussed that I have nightmares about every single night.
Is this can I just ask, is this what happened to you? Your parents tried to curb your behavioral ways and put you into like, I've heard you mention this once before, you found the school was like a kind of, I guess in your words, like a kind of terrible camp in some sort?
It was both. There was a wilderness camp and also just these schools where they just mentally and physically abuse the children, and it's still happening today. And that's why I wanted to talk about it, because I don't think this should not happen to any child.
So it's definitely caused a trauma on you.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm sorry for that.
Thank you.
Okay, so
I think that's why I'm so strong, because I've been through so much.
You've been through a lot.
You know, people think it's just all this glamour and fun and all that, but they don't really realize like why I do what I do and why I wanted to become.
Well, I remember when you asked Meryl Ginsburg, was it Meryl Ginsburg who wrote did your first book with you? I mean, I remember getting the phone call and she was saying to me, would I write the foreword? And I was like, yes, I'd love to. I mean, I'd known you like a bit, 7 years at that point, and I thought, sure, I'd love to write, you know, the foreword with her. And she came to meet me and we sat and we went through it. And it was still a pleasure then, and so as it would be a pleasure now. But I realized that people just really don't know you. And the Paris that I know, all the people that I love you too. You know, you're trustworthy, you're very trustworthy. You tell you something, you never hear it again. And, you know, you are consistent with your love also. It's reciprocal, it goes both ways. I wanted to ask you this, but I don't know whoever may know this, but I know it. Your mother, Kathy, who I adore. I mean, when you meet Kathy, you understand where Paris gets her energy. I mean, but I think, I'm going to say, Kathy is the OG. Kathy's got more energy than both you and Nikki together. I'm sorry.
She's the real OG.
She's the OG.
She really is.
So
I know you're watching, Mom. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Kathy. So tell me, your name Paris. Your mother had a very, very famous best friend, and that's how your name Paris came to be. Could you tell us this story, because I don't think many people know this.
Well, my mom and Michael Jackson were best friends since they were 13 years old. And one day they made a pact that whoever had the first daughter would name her Paris. So then obviously I was born and I was Paris. And then his daughter was born Paris, and he called my mom and said, I know we made this pact, and whoever, you know, had the daughter first would get the name Paris, but I love the name so much. I love Paris. Do you mind if I name my daughter Paris as well? And that's how we have our other beautiful Paris, who I am obsessed with, who's like my little sister.
She's wonderful.
She's so incredible.
Yeah, I wish to have you.
Hi, Paris, if you're watching.
Hi, Paris, if you're watching. And so then, go on a little more further. Your mother told me that she also did some backup singing for Michael Jackson.
My mom has been singing her whole life. Actually, before she got pregnant with me, when she was 19, she had a record label sign her, and she was about to do an entire album, a tour, everything. And she gave it up to be a mom and have me.
It's wonderful.
So thank you, Mom.
So, Kathy,
We bow down to the OG.
Absolutely bow down to the OG. So now you've got, Nikki's got 2 kids, and your brother Baron's got one new baby girl.
Yes.
So you're an auntie to 3. How's that
Yes.
feel?
I'm obsessed with being an aunt. I'm like, first when Nikki has her 2 daughters, I always go over there, buy them presents, I hang out with them. Like, they do my makeup, which they're not really good at, but I let them do it because it's fun. And
They will get
Baron's
good at it.
They will one day. And then Baron's baby girl, Milou, just turned 1 month old. And they actually were in New York right before lockdown. And Tessa had to give birth in the hospital with all these people coming in. So it was just, I can't imagine, you know, having a baby in a hospital with everybody suffering like this. It's must have been so terrifying. And I haven't been able to meet her yet because we've all been on quarantine. So I can't wait to meet my new niece.
Just FaceTimes and videos and things like that.
Yes, lots.
So when did you realize that, because I think you probably are the first person I know, I feel, that your other documentary was about social media, right? And the whole business of social media. I think you were probably the first person that I knew that was so heavily into social media. How many years have you been doing social media?
Since it started, like back in the day of, you know, MySpace and Facebook. And
wow,
Instagram,
MySpace. Yes, I remember that. I think I started doing social media in 2013. Like, I think they had applied for it in 2012, but I actually picked up my phone and looked at it and like, I can't do this. I'm never doing this. I'm never going to send a tweet. It's impossible. It just was so intimidating, the whole thing. And I just know you were just like such ease with it all. I mean, you've created a whole business for yourself. And I mean, how does that today when you see, I mean, even down to reality, simple life. I truly believe, and I said this to Nicole last week, that without simple life, there wouldn't be the Kardashians, there wouldn't be so many. There was you, there was Ashley and Nick, and the real life. That's all I remember. That was my reality shows that I remember. And so you are definitely to be accredited for that. What do you feel now with everything that's gone on since the beginning of social media? Now that I've seen all these new reality shows, some that have stemmed from you, people that work with you.
It makes me feel very proud. I think just seeing how it's created an entire new genre and just what it's done. It's turned into this entire new world where before, like when I first did the show, my mom and dad, my sister, everyone's like, you're crazy, don't do a reality show, because it was just so new. And then when The Simple Life came on, it was such a huge success and everybody really enjoyed it. And now to see so many other shows that were inspired by that just makes me feel proud, because I always felt like I've always been ahead of my time. I'm an Aquarius, so I'm naturally like that. And it's just, it makes me just feel, I don't know, just be a pioneer and somebody who...
And to see how social media's turned into a business.
Yes. And I think...
I mean, did you see yesterday?
Anyone could do what they want, just from their, sitting in their parents' house or whatever. They could build an entire business and a brand off whatever talent they have. And I think it's an incredible tool if it's used in the right way.
Absolutely. I mean, yesterday, breaking news. Did you see who joined Instagram?
No.
Who? Yes, who? Johnny Depp.
Oh, wow.
Johnny Depp joined
Someone
Instagram.
I would never think to do that. I remember when he did that a couple years ago. He was talking about how he hated all that.
I was skipping. Look, we want to connect. Like, I look at your Instagram daily. You have the most incredible content. And that's what it's all about now, is the content, which you have. You have decades of content. I do have it, but I have it in still form because of pictures as a model. And But in terms of content of moving, you really must have a lot as you've been there from the forefront. And I
Even
mean,
before there was the iPhone, I always had the camcorder, disposable cameras, Polaroids. You know, before, you know, the camera even had a phone, I've always been like that. And I also have my best friend, Jennifer
do you remember
Rivera.
the sky
She's like
pagers? The sky
taking photos of me
pagers,
everywhere. Sky pagers, oh my God, the beepers.
the sidekick.
Everyone is so lucky, by the way, today. Can you imagine if everyone just had only that? It's amazing what technology has done and just bringing everyone together and being able to do something like this.
To see, I never thought, I've said this to Johnny I actually, I've never thought that I would ever be on this planet. I would be living alive to see that you could speak on the phone and see the person live. I never thought I would be living to see that. For me, it's just
amazing.
Yeah.
It's so fun because we can't be together since we're in home quarantine, but I feel like I'm sitting with you right now.
I'm getting my Paris dose, 100%. But
Yes.
some other things I want to speak to you about. What is the most misinterpreted thing that people think about you that is not who you are, that you want? I know you've been asked this question, so have I, so many times, that you want to say, this is who I am, the thing that people really just don't get.
There's definitely so many misconceptions that it's hard to even list them all, but I think the biggest ones, I think that obviously, as we talked about before, from the simple life, everyone assumes that's who I am, because that's how the world was introduced to me. So they assume, oh, she's spoiled, she's dumb, she's this, she's
Did
that.
that hot come from there?
That's hot, yes.
That's hot came from there?
Yes.
Did you I don't know,
Trademark?
did you trademark that's hot?
Obviously.
But
I also just
another
trademarked
word
my new
there's
that's
another
hot.
word that
I
you
have a
said.
new one. The new one is sliving.
Living.
Sliving. Sliving.
Sliving. I think I saw you say that on Goodies. You put that on, because we both follow Goody Grace, who's this young, amazing musician.
Yes.
And I saw that you put that under Goodies. I was like, what's sliving mean? But so then tell me, when we went to Cuba and Jamaica, you were using another word.
Huge. That's huge or huge.
Do you like pattern all of them?
Yes.
And what do you intend to do with all these words that you pattern in Paris?
Basically, I think it's just important if you, I don't know, just to trademark and own it. So
do you put these on your bags, on T-shirts, on?
Yes, I'm doing merch with sliving, and that's hot and loves it. I think, I don't know, everything I do, I'm very business minded, so I always think of ways just to make a business out of anything.
Entrepreneur to a T. So please, can you tell us now, when we are going to be out of quarantine, where will you be headed? What is the first thing you would like to do?
The first thing I want to do is see my entire family. I don't know where we're going to go. Hopefully close to my parents' house in LA, and have my brother and his wife fly out with my new niece so I can meet her, and my sister and James and their daughters, and just to be with my family. I just miss everybody so much. Like, it breaks my heart just to not, I'm just used to seeing them like basically almost every day, so it's so hard.
Now, let's skip on quickly to the DJ Paris Hilton, because there's a DJ Paris Hilton, and I've seen you in action many times in Ibiza, at Pasha, at Amnesia. What was the other one? Oh, did you do
Ushuaia?
Ushuaia, right? So, how did the DJ Paris Hilton come about? Because that's a whole nother life, and that's long hours. It's grueling, actually.
Well, I always like to optimize my time. If I'm going to be flying, all the way around the world, during the day I do my business, I do photo shoots, interviews, meet and greets, whatever I have to do. And then at night I have my team book me at whatever is the best music festival or nightclub in that region. So I can make the most out of my time, entertain my fans. And about 10 years ago, they asked me to DJ and close for Jennifer Lopez in Brazil at this concert with 30,000 people. And I'd never DJed in my life. So that was the first time, and just being on stage and feeling that energy, I loved it. So after that, I basically started training with my friend, Mike Henderson, DJ Endo, and he taught me everything I need to know. And we did that for 6 months straight for 6 hours a day. And then I started going on tour, and then I got my DJ residency at Amnesia. And then I've just been playing all around the world ever since. And it's been amazing.
You played
and
to
before
thousands
that,
and thousands
in Vegas,
of people.
actually. Before there was even basically DJs, when the Palms Hotel opened, they called me and said, "We want you to come and open the hotel." And I wasn't even 21 at this point.
Because
So
you also sang too, didn't you? You sang. You had an album.
Yes. I actually have some new songs coming out. But yeah, I'm doing my second album right now. But when I went to Vegas, I wasn't even 21. So I basically faxed him my ID, but I whited it out and typed a different number. So then when I had my birthday in Vegas at another hotel a year later, it was like, "Paris, you lied to me, you were even 21. But that started a whole business of basically getting paid to party, and that's how the whole celebrity party thing started, with people doing appearances. And then I realized 10 years ago that it was more about the DJ. It wasn't about just whoever was hosting it. And that's why I learned to do that.
And now you're just in demand all over the world.
It's so much fun.
I've seen you command in Amnesia. I don't know let's say how many people are in there? Like, how many people fit Amnesia?
Oh, in that room, like 5,000?
Yeah, in that main room. But you command them for hours. Yeah. And it's not easy to do that. There's a definite knack to doing that. It takes something special to be able to do it. To continuously come, because it's not like you have a playlist, you go with the people.
Always.
I see how,
I've never played the same set twice. I always feel the crowd and just play what I know that they love. And that's what makes it so much fun. I love it. And we had so much fun. Lisa, when you came on stage with me, that was like everybody in the audience lost.
That was fun. I mean, look,
I actually just posted that on Instagram as a Flashback Friday picture.
You have it? You have a Flashback Friday?
I just put it on Instagram like 20 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I have to go on. I mean, no, I do like Ibiza. Ibiza is fun. I can take it for 4 days. It really is a place that, for me, if I just want to go and dance for 4 days, and I mean just dance because I don't drink, that's it. I'm going there, I'm going to dance for 4 days, and I'm done. I'm out. I got it out my system.
I was living there 4 months out of the entire summer for 8 years straight.
Oh my goodness.
4 months.
A year?
Yes.
That's a long time.
I was touring and I was going everywhere, but I was based in Ibiza and I had my party every weekend. And then Ibiza ended up making me the ambassador of Ibiza. So I got that 3 years ago, so now I'm the ambassador.
That's fantastic. So but basically when you're in Ibiza, what is good is you can still hop and jump to other places in Europe very quickly and come back. So you can get a lot of things done, which is great, which I know you like to keep busy at all times. Always. So Paris, is there anything that I haven't asked you that you want us to know? Are you in love?
Yes, deeply. I'm so happy.
And I'm very happy for you.
Thank you. You actually met him at Puffy's 50th birthday.
I did?
We were all there. Yeah.
When Kathy was on the stage singing?
Yes. So much fun.
Oh my God. I'm so happy that you could be with us today on No Filter with Naomi. And if there's anything you'd like to say to everyone staying safe and staying at home at this time, there's your platform.
I want to send my love to everybody at home watching. I know it's really hard for everyone, and it's a lot we're going through, but we can all get through this together. And I think this is a new time for the world, and it's really a reset. And I'm looking forward to the new world. And I think a lot of people have had time to really reflect on their lives and just how important, just to appreciate everything and your family and the people you love. And I love you all, and I'm happy that Naomi had me on her show so that I could spread the love and entertain everyone while they're sitting at home chilling. And I think everyone should just really make the most out of this time. And also, there's so many ways to give back, and I just think it's so important for everyone to really come together, because I think we should take this in a way and think about it in a good way, that we can all really come together as a world, because it's not just, you know, a couple people going through this. This is the entire world. So I love you all, and I love you, Naomi, and I'm so happy to
I love
on
you
the show.
too. And I thank you so much for taking the time to do this. Bye, Diamond. Bye. Kiss Kathy, kiss Dad, kiss Nikki, kiss Baron. Love you. Thank you so much, baby. Thank you.
I love you so much.
As you can see in the interview with Naomi Campbell, Paris Hilton, they talk about that they met in an island in Central Bay, and Paris Hilton was dancing. Guess what? How Paris Hilton was dancing? She was dancing on the table, and Naomi Campbell knew Paris and got to know very close to Paris. Now Ghislaine Maxwell was asking people around, who is this woman? Can I get to know this woman so I can bring her to Jeffrey? Wow. So I don't know if Naomi Campbell, but there's very interesting thing. Now, so Paris Hilton was basically acting like a stripper on the table. She was doing table dance. And Naomi Campbell was like, yo, that's my girl. Yeah, that's my girl. I can recruit you and bring you to Jeffrey. I'm joking. But like, think about it. Like, the modeling world is very, very intertwined with sexuality, with sex. It's very sexual industry. It's not like being a lawyer or being a doctor. It's a very sexual industry, and it is what it is. You have to accept it. You have to accept it for what it is. Now, when you go into and then they asked, and I think what's her name? Naomi Campbell kept asking more question. Paris Hilton said that she owns many hotels. She owned a couple of hotels in the Philippines. The Philippines is known for child sex trafficking. I'm not saying that Paris Hilton used the hotel for child sex trafficking, but it's interesting that the hotels have to be in the Philippines. There are many places that are more like exotic. Why did she choose the Philippines? You know, I mean, those are questions that you ask. You see, the world of the elites is kind of like intertwined, and we have to be very, very careful when we listen to those people. Naomi Campbell knew Paris Hilton. Naomi Campbell knew Ghislaine Maxwell. The young lady that was raped, Virginia Gouffre, said that you saw me on the ship. You saw me in the party. You saw me everywhere. You saw me. That's what she said about Naomi Campbell, specifically calling out Naomi Campbell. So, but Naomi Campbell is trying to play it down. I think Naomi Campbell probably was like it could be somebody that was helping Jeffrey Epstein on the side, or maybe not Jeffrey Epstein, but Ghislaine Maxwell. But, or another way, it could be that Naomi Campbell was like a silent person, somebody that's complacent. But that's very dangerous too. If you see something, you got to call it out. I personally think that Naomi Campbell is not the kind of person that's going to... those kind of people, those diva people, all those people, they don't care about other people's problem. I'm telling you, when you see divas and yelling at people, being arrogant, they don't give a damn about other people's problem. You know, that's just the way it is, my man. That's just the way it is. So that's what I want to say. This is a very short video. I just want to talk about that. I'm going to have more videos about this, about that, and we're going to dissect this. Thank you.